Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video will be on this beautiful gown. If you have a video request, any tutorial that you want me to do, please send a message on my Instagram at the same MAKY'S stitches, and I'll make tutorial on the requested style. I hope you get this. So our fabric is folded into four, just like we do, and I'll be cutting the front and the back together. So I have extra for my zipper allowance, and this is our center front. So the one up is the front, and then this is the back. If you've been following my channel by now, you must have gotten used to cutting this style. So I marked this straight line to serve as our starting point. Then the next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark my half length. And for my half length, I am marking at 13 inches. 13 inches, and then I'll add 1 inch stitching allowance to it. Once I've done this, we're going to go ahead and work on our neckline first. And you know my starting point is this, and my center front is this. So I'll go ahead and mark my neckline. For the width of my neckline, I am going down out by 3 inches, and then for the depth, I am marking at 3 inches as well. So we are doing this time 3 by 3 inches. So I'll connect this point. Then for my back neckline, I am going down by 1 inch. I want it to have a high neckline at the back. Then I'll connect it to the neck width. Once I am done this, I've done this, I'll go ahead and mark my shoulder measurement divided by 2. My shoulder measurement divided by 2, which is 6 inches, and then I'll add 1/2 inch stitching allowance because of the sleeve. I'll go ahead and connect this. Okay, before we connect this, let's mark our bust point. And our bust point, I am going down by 7 inches. Let's do 7 inches. And then I'll connect this point. And also connect this as well. Let's do 7.5 because I don't like it to be fitted. I don't know about you, but for my daughter, whenever she wears any clothes that is too tight, she's always uncomfortable and won't wear that clothes again. So I like to give a bit of allowance to my clothes while making it, whether for her or for every other child. So I consider every other child while making my style. So for the neck shoulder slope, I am going down by 0.75, and then I'll connect this to my starting point. Once I am done with this, I'll go ahead and mark my bust measurement divided by 4, which is at 8 inches, and then I'm adding 1.5 inches stitching allowance. So I tried to add 1.5 inches today. I've been adding 1 inch for a while now, and which I like because I don't have a lot of allowances to work with. I won't have a lot of allowances to work with. So once I am done with that, I'll go ahead and mark my waist measurement divided by 4, and then I'll add my stitching allowance to it, which is 1.5 inches, and then I'll connect this to it. So that's basically all for the bodice. You're going to be adjusting the back waistline, but let's go ahead and cut this out first. This back neckline, I am going up by 1/2 inch, and then I'll connect it to this side. Then I'll go and cut it out. So this is what we have. By the time you look at it, you see that the back is longer than the front, is longer than the back by here. But the time the child puts this on, it aligns. So let's go ahead. We're going to use this pattern to cut the lining, and then cut out the one for our gathers. Okay guys, I've cut out a fabric. I'm using a satin fabric for that design. And what I have here, my fabric is on fold, is 13 inches by 14.5 inches. And how did I get this? So remember, we added 1.5 inches stitching allowance here. So I just measured what I have my bust measurement is 8 inches. So I took out about 2 inches for in. So I want the design to be 6 inches long. So that's why we have 13 inches. And then I added 1/2 inch on both sides for stitching allowance. Then for the length of it, I'm starting at about 1.5 inches away from the neckline. And then I stopped at about 2 inches away from the waist measurement. That's 8 inches. So I doubled, not really doubled. I have 14 inches here, so I added about 5 inches to the 8 inches that we have, so that I will be able to plait it this way. So by the time we plait it, we have 8 inches in total. So what I'm going to be doing is to go and stitch, and then I'll leave a bit of an opening to turn it to the right side, and then I'll iron it out. Then when you look at the style, you see that it has another strap of fabric that falls after this. So this is what we have. So remember, this is 13 inches, so I just added extra 10 inches so that it will fall this way by 5 inches by the time we are done. So I'll go ahead and stitch this and then turn it to the right side as well. Okay guys, this is what we have after I was done and then ironing it. So I'll go ahead and place this way, and I'll go ahead and plait it. So I'm trying to make 3 plates, or 4, whichever that I'm able. So as I'll plait, I'll pin it down, and before I'll go ahead and then stitch it down at the center. So I'll make 3 plates and then pin it down. So this is what we're going to be having after we are done. Then I'll pick up this one and then place it this way. So this is how it's going to be. So I'll stitch it from here, not from the end. I'll stitch from here to here. Then it's going to fall this way. It's going to fall this way. I hope you get this. Then once I am done with it, this is a strap of fabric that I cut out. So I'll turn it to the right side, facing right side. I'll stitch it at this side and then turn it to the right side. Then I'll place it on top of the ear. You can do from the neckline all the way to the waistline, or you can just do where the fabric started from. I don't know, I think I'll be doing from the neckline. I'll put it this way and then to stop stitch it on both sides. So then for the sleeve, let's go ahead and cut out the sleeve. So I folded my fabric into 2, and for my sleeve I'm taking out about 1.5 inches for the band, 1.5 inches for the band. So I'll go ahead and mark the length of my sleeve. So my sleeve is supposed to be 10 inches, but just like I said, I'm taking out 1.5 inches for it. So I'll go ahead and mark at 8.5 inches. Then for my sleeve cut height, I'm marking at 4 inches, and then I'll pin this down so that it can stay in place. So because this is a balloon sleeve, that's the sleeve is wide. For here, let's mark this line straight. So what I will do is I'll use my free hand to mark a S that is long. I don't know, I don't think I can connect this with my curve, so I'll just use my hand to connect this way, and then I'll connect it this way. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. You can just cut a basic sleeve, then slash it open and then transfer it to another fabric. But for me, this is how I do mine, and it's easier for me this way. So I'll go ahead and cut this out. So I'll use this to cut out another sleeve on this side as well. So I forget to mention that for my sleeve, I doubled my round sleeve measurement to make it a wide sleeve. And then I have this band. So this band is my exact round sleeve plus about 2 inches is 2. So 1 for each sleeve. And by the time you fold it into 2, you can see what we have. So my round sleeve is 10 inches. Then I added stitching allowance to 8. So I'll go ahead and open this up. And then I'll bring in my bodice. So this is my bodice. This is what we have after I am done attaching the plate. So the plate, I decided to make it more than 3. So this is what we have, and then I attached my shoulder to it. So I'll pick up my sleeve, and then I'm going to start, I'll place it this way, and then I'll make small places as I go on. But the major plate that is going to be on this shoulder, so you're going to have more place on this shoulder. If there is no enough place to attach to this plate, don't bother about this. I just pack these plates, that's so that you have a larger part of the plates on the shoulder line, and I'll do the same thing for the other sleeve. So once I am done with that, I'll bring, by then you will have that, you know that your sleeve at this point is gathered to the bodice. Then I'll bring in the band, and then I'll open it up this way, and then I'll also go ahead and plait this into the band. Once I am done, I'll use so when you want to plait it, it will be front facing front. Once I am done, you are going to flip it up over to this place, then fold in by 1/2 inch, and then use the band to cover it up this way. So this is how it's going to be, and then you will top stitch it. I hope you get this. Okay guys, so this is what we have after I was done stitching the sleeve. You can see what we have. So I'll bring in my lining. I'm using the same fabric as my lining. You can use a normal lining if that's what you have. I'll go ahead and do front facing front, and I've already stitched my shoulder on the lining as well. So I'll place it this way. I'll stitch the neckline from the back neckline all the way to the other back neckline, and then I'll stitch the armhole as well. So while stitching the armhole, make sure you push your sleeve inward this way, and then you'll be able to stitch on the armhole this way all the way to the end. If you want an inseam finishing at this point, stitch your seam side as well. But if not, when you are done stitching the armhole and the neckline, you turn it to the right side and then stitch the armhole, the seam line. So guys, this is what we have after I was done. And I also attached a band or a rope for the waist. So this is the sleeve. So, and then I stitch down my seam line. All I have to do is to weave this. So this is my gather part. I'm all done gathering it, also hemming it as well. So I'll go ahead and do front facing front with this gather skirt, and then I'll stitch from one end to the other. Once I am done, I'll close up the zipper allowance and then attach my zipper. And that's it for this style. I hope you find value in it. In this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, share my videos to family and friends, and please watch my ads, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching.